congressional Democrats are calling on Biden to review the disparate and often inhumane treatment of black migrants. Yes, in a recent letter, more than 100 congressional Democrats have urged President Biden to review the disparate treatment of black migrants, specifically Haitians.
I was about to say.
Specifically Haitians at the border, but it could be almost anybody who's dark-skinned.
Right.
It's time to undo this letter signed by 100 congressional Democrats. I'm quoting, "It's time to undo the United States' draconian immigration policies, particularly policies introduced under the Trump administration, such as the use of Title 42 that circumvent our humanitarian obligations." Title 42, Yo-Yo, that was the law that allows the President of the United States to exclude huge groups of people if there is a possibility that they came from an area that could cause a public health emergency in the United States. And what Donald Trump said was anybody who is in the country of Mexico can cause a public health problem in the United States because potentially they could have COVID. And as a result of that, anybody who was in Mexico who applied for asylum got turned around immediately at the border.
Wow.
Now, under the Title 42 rules, it was only supposed to be Mexicans, Guatemalans, El Salvadorans, but they included everybody, including Haitians. And you may remember those pictures of people who were trying to apply for asylum, and they had the horses with the whips, and those were mostly Haitians who were trying to cross the border. They were all basically fell under Title 42. You come from an area that has COVID. We're not even going to accept your asylum application. And by the way, there was one exception to the rule, to this law. But how would anybody know what this one exception is? If you yell at the moment when you cut to, literally it would have to be contemporaneously with the U.S. government removing you because you came from a country with COVID. So we're not going to allow you to apply for asylum. You would have to contemporaneously yell, "I will be tortured if I return to my country," which is different than asylum, that I fear persecution. You could say, "I'm applying for asylum," and that's what most people think to say.
Right.
Turned around. You have to use the words, "I will be tortured."
Wow.
And who knows to say that?
Right.
So, tens and tens and tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of people were denied basic asylum interviews because of Title 42. The letter also underscored recent frustrations with the Biden administration over Title 42's public health order, which was invoked by the Trump administration at the onset, which is what we talked about. It deprives legitimate asylum seekers the opportunity to pursue their claims. Further into the letter, the Democrats argue that Title 42 has no basis in public health. Do you think it prevented having these people who are escaping for their lives saying you can't come in? That prevented people from getting COVID in the United States of America?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Okay. No. There was a super spreader event.
Right.
Okay, all over the place.
I think that would be worse.
Okay.
Like the festivals and all that.
At festivals, at the bike rallies in South Dakota or North Dakota, whatever that was. I don't think a poor person trying to escape persecution was making a super spreader event in the United States of America. So the letter says that the Title 42 order had no basis in public health, and the CDC is allowing itself to be used to justify mass expulsions of asylum seekers in violation of U.S. and international refugee law to harm's way. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.